one of the things that we bring up in Toastmasters a lot is sometimes it's nice to just be able to have the ability to get up and just start talking. It's not something that comes easy to me as a serious introvert. I need time to process, all that kind of thing. I don't like to sound disorganized in my thoughts, so I tend not to speak when I'm not prepared. But Toastmasters stretches me in that area, so I get to practice. So what I want to talk to you about is about learning and growing and knowing what you're trying to get out of Toastmasters. I mean, why are you here? Most of us don't show up at Toastmasters because we just love to speak in front of people, and so this is a great opportunity to give us a chance to do that. How many of you, before you joined Toastmasters, thought, well, I'm going to join Toastmasters because I just love to talk to people? Anybody? Matt? No? Not even Mark? Okay. So everybody, take that in. It's like that's why we're all here. But we're here to get better. We're here to grow, right? And this is and what better place? I mean, you got it's safe, a very supportive network. You get feedback. You get to focus on different aspects of communicating. Listening is something that I didn't really expect in Toastmasters, but that's a big part of communication, is being able to listen to people. Now, there's as far as knowing what you're trying to get out of here, does everybody know what you're trying to focus on to improve your communication? Let's go around the room and just see what, I guess I can start. So when I joined Toastmasters, one of the things I wanted to be able to do, I knew I had a communication problem. I would speak, but people didn't necessarily understand, or I wouldn't hear them properly, and I wanted to get better at that. And there's a lot of barriers to that. There's, you get yourself in the way, typically, when you're trying to communicate. And so just getting up and practicing and doing it and being at ease talking to people helps with removing that barrier. That's one of the big things. But there's a whole structure inside of Toastmasters about the educational structure on what it is you can do to improve and grow. And so there's two tracks, right? There's the communication track and there's the leadership track. And there are manuals to follow, which I'm not doing right now, but that's, really ideally that's what you want to have, a speech that fits inside a manual because it's got clear objectives that you're trying to achieve and work on, and you get feedback on those. If you're not plugged into that, you might not necessarily know what you're trying to get or how to get the feedback that you're looking for. So what else? Who here is currently working on a competent communicator? Anybody? Okay, we have 3 people. Do you know how far along you are in that track?
Halfway.
About halfway?
Yeah, I think I've got 6 or 7.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. Good. Who's working on an advanced communicator? We got a couple? Pardon me?
I have them.
They're calling you still. Okay. So you haven't really made much headway on that.
I've done one out of 2 books, but they're really long projects, so so that's why I'm like, wow.
Okay. Well, I'm working on that too. I'm working on the advanced communicator gold, I guess it is now, and that's about 5 projects in each manual, so that's 10. I think I have quite a few of them to go. But when I get that, when I finish the advanced communicator gold, that'll be the last thing I need for the DTM. So that's a big thing. So that I want to get there. So if you're not, who isn't working on any, you're not working on any of the manuals or anything, you're just here to kind of absorb what, do we have anybody like that here? That, all right. So I would encourage, you can definitely get valued in Toastmasters just by showing up and participating. I mean, that's half the battle, is just showing up and being here. Well, if you take on one of these educational programs, I think you'll find that your progress is going to accelerate. You're going to grow a lot faster when you do that, because you'll be inside of the Toastmasters structure. Toastmasters has a design. It really works to follow it. There's, I wrote down some things here, and I just wanted to see what else. I was just at the officer training just yesterday, and Monday, and that's a really good thing because it reorients you to everything what we're trying to do in Toastmasters and how we're trying to learn and grow. And one of the things is we just need people to engage and organize, prepare speeches and give speeches at the club, and everything just sort of works from there. And if you're inside of the education manuals, you're going to see that it just feels really good when you finish those. You will feel much better about where you're at in your speaking, because it's clear, measured progress that way. Anybody have any questions about, I know there's other opportunities too, okay? I know I'm kind of going over time here a little bit, but we have contests in Toastmasters. And that's a whole nother level of where you're actually competing. And so there's a little bit more pressure. But if you're looking to really stretch and grow, I'd encourage you to participate in the contests. And there's 3 levels of contests that you go through, or that you potentially could go through. The first one is you got to have a club contest, and we do those somewhat informally here. Typically, whoever wants to participate in that, we do. And if you win that contest, or if you're the only speaker in that contest, then you get forwarded on to the area contest. And the area is composed of about 5 clubs. And so you'll be competing against people that have won their club contests and those at that area level. So the competition gets a little higher as you go up in there. And then from the area is the division. And the division's about 5 areas. So the winners of the area contest go to the division. So in February, we're going to have a club contest here. At least that's my plan. February 17th is the tentative date. Unless we have serious issues with that, that's what I'm going to propose. And so in March will be the area contest. So we're area 81. I don't think that date has been set yet, but that'll be coming. And then in April will be the division contest, and we're Division H. So the winner from the area contest will go to the division level. Then the winners of the division contest go to the district level. And the district is all of District 39, which I think it kind of reflects the warning area for the Sacramento Weather Forecast Office almost. It like goes up to Shasta, down to Modesto, up toward Reno, out to toward the Bay Area. So that's a pretty good sized area. In the springtime, the contests that we're going to have, so the ones we'll have at our February are the international speech. And that's a speech that is like broad level, relates to everybody. You can, it's typically inspirational in nature. And it gets, if you advance and you make it past the district level and you actually go to the international speech contest, like this is worldwide, this isn't just in California. I think you have to come up with a new speech, like after you've done one. That's something entirely new. So that's a whole level. Those people are on, they're on a different level. But there are people that go through Toastmasters that get there. So any of you could do that too, if you were committed to it. But that's an opportunity that's there. Are the club contests and the contests in general. The other one that we do in the spring is called Table Topics, and that's just like it sounds, like we do in our club. It's where you're given a topic you don't know in advance, and you're got to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And the winner, I think that one only goes up to, I guess it goes up to the district level, and that's it. But there's no international part of that. And then in the fall we have the humorous speech contest and the evaluation contest, and those are also just at the district level. But those could be kind of fun. I think I always thought it would be fun to do a humorous speech, participate in a contest like that. The table topics is, that's always a stretch, for at least for me, to do that. And then the evaluation contest is almost an impromptu type one too, to stretch you there. But I think that's really valuable, being able to give people critical feedback in a way that positively impacts them. That's a skill that I think we could all use. there's other opportunities too in terms of leadership, and just to, how are we doing on time, by the way? I don't want to.
10 minutes.
I think 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm 10 minutes in, and Toastmaster, how are we on the overall club time? I mean, it's only 25 after
Got about
here.
4 minutes.
Mark says, Mark's weighing in, he's saying 4 minutes. Okay, so Mark's pretty experienced with how these go. And so I'll try to wrap it up here. But just the opportunity, so you all know, in terms of leadership, Toastmasters is a learn by doing organization. The same with leadership. You know, it's an ingenious design. You know, self-run clubs. Everybody's got a skin in the game to make it work, and there's opportunity there because you can play around with leadership concepts too, trying to motivate people. When you don't have any authority or leverage over people, you know, you've got to find other ways to make things happen. And Toastmasters is perfect for that, right? We have no authority or leverage over anyone, right? So trying to motivate people and get them engaged are skills that we can develop. You can do that inside the leadership of Toastmasters, and you can do it by serving as a club officer. Once you've been a club officer, you can go in and become like an area governor. And as an area governor, you're overseeing all these clubs in your area, 5 clubs. So you're interacting with the presidents of those clubs, you're going to the clubs and speaking to them, you're making sure that everybody's getting what they need and they're not, their problems aren't, and you're organizing the contest too. But you're not doing it all yourself. You're learning how to build leaders that help you accomplish all of that. And so it's a different sort of thing. And then if you go up, and I've done this, and then go up to the division level, then you're overseeing the area governor. So it's like another level of management almost. So it gives you a taste of what it's like if you're moving up in an organization and you're managing groups of people. You end up doing less of the work and more of the visionary parts and the organizing and keeping everything, all the parts harmonizing. So it's an interesting way to develop your skills, I think. And then if you're really hardcore, you can go into district, run for the district governor position, and then you're responsible for the whole, Reading to Modesto and all of that, making sure all of that works. So the accountability is much higher, but it's free practically, right? It's low cost training. So those are the opportunities I wanted to give you, and we're going to be looking for new leaders for this club for next year. So I want you all to think about if there's an officer position that you might be interested in. Most of it's not a big time commitment. I think maybe the biggest one are, of course, president and vice president of education. Vice president of education, the role I'm in, it's a lot of planning. I don't actually make it to a lot of meetings. I think it would be nice if I could make it to more meetings, but a lot of it is just getting everything set up and organized, and so that we have people prepared for their speeches and running and being Toastmaster for the meetings. So that's a lot of what I do. It's not a lot of time, but it is more than some of the other roles. The other roles I don't think are a lot of time at all. But those are the opportunities. I just wanted a presence for you, and I just really want to congratulate you all just for being here and participating in this, because I've seen, one of the things of not coming very often is I get to see people at different levels and watch the growth. And I've got to watch even like Mark from the very beginning of this club. I got to watch Mark grow, and Tracy, you were there at the beginning, weren't you? And just others that have just risen up. So give yourselves a pat on the back and think about your educational goals and the leadership opportunities, and communicate those to me if you want. I'll probably be reaching out in the near future on what your goals are, but I want to help you achieve your Toastmasters goals. So thank you, Madam Toastmaster.